Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us right at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
I'm Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News on the Wax. We appreciate that. A lot to talk about, so let's first get a check on that first alert forecast. Say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for the details as we get morning ready. Hey, good morning, Jill.
Good morning. So the storms wake you up?
I slept like a baby right through it.
Yeah, there's always one, right? We can do that.
Did you guys wake up?
It stormed last night?
Well, I went through the process of going to bed, and then I was like, well, this isn't helping. And then, of course, one of our dogs needs a little thunder shirt, so she's all like, I hear the raindrops, I hear everything. So it is what it is. Things are much better, though, this morning. And hey, when you work in the South, you need a thunder shirt, you know, if you have dogs with anxiety. But hey, we're getting a lot of active weather these days, and it's been very humid, but that batch of rain is gone. We have some additional showers kind of passing across our northernmost counties. Taking a look at the only live radar in the state, you can see those downpours still existing in and around Torrington to Harwinton. So just give you a first alert to make sure you take along the umbrella today. We're going to be tracking just a few showers this morning, especially to the north. A little bit of fog, especially Chester. That's where the visibility down to half a mile. You can see, yeah, the rain's in and around the Torrington area. It is mild out there in the 70s right now, and not much of a temperature change, just a little bit lower. The dew points, they're also in the 70s, so it does not feel very nice out there. It will feel hotter than the air temperature. We'll be climbing into that low 90-degree feels like range today. Eventually, we'll see the return of some rain and storms. I'll have more on that a little bit later, but let's get an update on traffic with Caitlin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 here on your Wednesday. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on the Wax. If you are getting ready to hit the road, heading to work, bringing the kids to summer camp, maybe you're going to one of the state parks or beaches, it's going to be a great day for that. A live look outside here in Hartford, 91 north and southbound. Nice and light traffic volume here as it is in Middletown along Route 9. No delays here in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound by the Mixmaster, and in Meriden along 691 east and westbound. I expect that there will be a lot of daytime construction. There was very limited, minimal overnight road work because of those storms that rolled through. So again, I expect a lot of that daytime work to pick up between about 8:30 and 9 o'clock. Thankfully, as I mentioned, no crashes out there. DOT not reporting any road closures across the state. Just be aware, though, there might be some lingering things that are blocked off because of some downed trees or tree limbs, debris that was kind of knocked around last night during those storms. But again, your drive times all looking fantastic, approaching an hour-and-a-half ride, 95 southbound towards the George Washington Bridge. That's a check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
This morning, it is day 3 of the Raul Valley trial deliberations, and jurors are deadlocked on all 4 charges.
He's accused of killing 17-year-old Jimmy McGrath and hurting 3 others in a stabbing. Your reporter, Marcy Jones, outside Milford Courthouse, where things are going to be picking up in just a few hours here.
Good morning. Well, despite the jury claiming that they're deadlocked, the judge has really encouraged them to take their time, consider all 9 days of the testimony and more than 100 pieces of evidence, and continue those deliberations. There have been 3 notes passed to the court so far, 2 saying the jury is deadlocked. The 12 jurors currently can't agree on the murder charge or the assault charges Valley faces. Jurors ended yesterday's deliberations with a request to hear playback of Valley's testimony when he recalls the fight. Jurors also asked to hear the cross-examination in which the state argues Valley had no reason to become violent at the moment he did. Now, with just about 10.5 hours of deliberations in the books, they will continue to work toward a verdict. Jurors are expected to be back here at Milford Court in just a few hours at 10 to continue those deliberations. Your reporter in Milford, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Right now in Wallingford, police are looking into a crash that killed a 19-year-old motorcycle rider. Police say it collided with an SUV on South Colony Road, right near the entrance to 91. Happened about 8 o'clock last night. We're told the other driver is cooperating with the investigation.
Well, this morning, the search is on in New London for a suspect who police say attacked someone at a senior living facility. Police say first responders took the victim to a hospital after officers found that person unconscious in an apartment Monday night at Briarcliff Manor. Police say they believe it was a targeted attack.
This morning, at least one person is being treated for serious injuries after a one-car crash in Oxford. State police say it happened on Guntown and Griswold Road just before 5 o'clock yesterday evening. There's no word yet on what caused that crash.
And in Waterbury this morning, a man is facing murder and assault charges in a deadly stabbing on Washington Street. Police say it happened last month, but the suspect turned himself in Monday, and he was in court on those charges yesterday. A second person who was also hurt has now been released from the hospital.
This morning, we're learning a 22-year-old man has died after a crash in Durham. State police say the victim was driving down Main Street at about 11 o'clock Monday night when his vehicle hit a guardrail and then a utility pole. The crash is still under investigation right now. And in Wallingford, there is a new way to pay your taxes now and your other bills online. The town just launched this new billing system right on the town's website. It accepts credit cards, electronic checks, and other forms of digital payment. The community members there have had to mail or drop off payments at the town hall before this launched. Online payments for utilities will be available within the next couple of years.
Well, now for a Channel 3 exclusive and a story everyone is talking about in Bristol. A 7-year-old with autism is back home safely with his family after he was placed on the wrong school bus.
Your reporter Roger Suzanne has more on what the family is saying about all this.
Yeah, you know, the little boy's parents told us that their 7-year-old son, Isaac, was missing for 3 hours. Now, that would be terrifying for any 7-year-old, but especially for a child who has autism. I want you to take a look at your screen. This is Isaac, and his parents tell us that their son's summer school day ended at 11:30 yesterday. Now, at that point, he was placed on the wrong bus, which then really set off a chain reaction of calamity and confusion that didn't end until Isaac's safe return at 2:30 in the afternoon. That's 3 hours later. Isaac's dad initially just thought his son's driver was late, but started worrying when the bus still hadn't arrived an hour later. When he went to the bus yard, he says he encountered chaos. No one knew where Isaac was or who he was with. Finally, a driver showed up at the bus yard with Isaac. The family was then told he had been placed on the wrong bus and dropped off initially at the wrong house. Isaac's mom and dad are relieved, of course, that their son is safe, but they say they won't send him back to summer school, and they'll never forget those panic-stricken hours when they frantically feared the worst.
It was terrifying. You were banging on buses,
I was
searching the buses, trying to see if he was on the bus.
Yeah, because nobody knew where he was, so maybe he's stuck in the bus sleeping or something, passed out because it was hot.
Now, the bus company, First Student, has issued a statement acknowledging the mistake and saying they will launch a full investigation to figure out exactly what went wrong and to hopefully prevent this kind of situation from ever happening again. But Isaac's parents say that's not good enough. They're also demanding answers from the school district and even local police. Reporting in Bristol this morning, I'm your reporter Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
But right now, a judge is deciding whether medical records in the Waterbury captivity case can be released with the alleged victim's new name. Prosecutors want that name taken out to protect his privacy, but attorneys for Kimberly Sullivan say they want all the available information. Prosecutors say the alleged victim was just 68 pounds when he was rescued from his stepmother's home, and the medical records could be key to this case. Sullivan is due back in court next month.
Well, good morning, everyone. We are tracking still some lingering showers moving from west to east across northern Connecticut, inland Connecticut. And there are a few spots where the rain is a little bit heavier. Let's show you what's happening on First Alert Live radar. We've zoomed in. Some of the heaviest has now moved to the east, shifted east of Torrington. So who's next in line? You're talking about First Alert for Western Hartford County, where we have those downpours between Harmonton, right over Bakersville, and near the New Hartford area. So all this a little showery activity will be with us for part of the morning hours, especially across the northern part of our state. So it doesn't hurt to bring the umbrella with you, especially for this morning to, deal with that small chance. All right, the rest of today, as we take a look at the icons, not looking too bad for the forecast, according to the First Alert weather app for Hartford. We'll get into some steamy sunshine this afternoon with mid-80s also in New Haven, but it will feel like it's in the low 90s. And with that wind off the water, here we go again, high near 80 degrees in New London. But we are going to be watching as we go into tonight, into tomorrow morning, giving you a First Alert for more rain and storms returning. I'll have much more on that, more active forecast in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
All right, Jill, thanks. Well, right now the search continues in Texas after those devastating floods.
And this morning, new questions about safety protocols at an overnight camp for girls where some say tragedy could have been avoided.